Hey everyone, welcome back to Dig with Geek. Kapil here. Today I'm going to talk about why M2 Macbook Air is the best Apple laptop available today. See, all products, all gadgets have their pros and cons. But first I'm going to talk about what are the good things about this M2 MacBook Air. I have been using this M2 MacBook Air for past 10 plus days as my main computer, whether it's editing or just normal script writing or anything else. This is my main laptop as of right now. I have hardly touched my M1 Pro laptop since I got this MacBook Air. But before I start, I would like to tell you that the base model does not suits my requirement. So I have got a custom build and the configuration that I have, it's 8 core CPU, 10 core GPU, 16 GB RAM, and 1 TB SSD. And I have got this lovely midnight color. Now since I have got this M2 MacBook Air with 16 GB RAM, even if I am editing multi-cam 4K footages in Final Cut Pro, it never uses swap. At least till date I never noticed that it ever tried to use swap for editing. Not only this, since I have got it with 1 TB SSD, I have no slow SSD performance issues either, as a lot of other YouTubers are complaining about, but there is no such issue where I'm getting close to 2800 megabytes per second read and write speed, which are very good. In fact, I would be happy even with 1000 megabytes per second, because even on my M1 Pro, I used to edit all my videos on an external SSD, and the external SSD read-write performance is usually under 1000 megabytes per second. So even 1000 megabytes per second performance would have been good enough. And even with the base model, it is getting more than 1000 megabytes per second read-write or disk operation. So even if you have the base model, I don't think that the disk performance is at all an issue. I'm a tech user, I'm a sysadmin for over 20 years now. So that's the reason I got this custom upgraded configuration. But for a general user who is just using for browsing, mails and media consumption, this kind of things, then even the base model is actually good enough. But there might be some issues that I will talk about later in this video. Now if you are into pro stuff like video editing or any heavy tasks, I wouldn't advise to go for 256 GB disk, because the OS itself will take up a lot of space. And not only this, you will be even installing some additional softwares which will again take up a lot of disk space. Now suppose, so in this case you will end up having like very little space or room for anything else. As you know, like if you have ever used Final Cut Pro, or if you are using Final Cut Pro, you must be knowing its library can go crazy big. So the 256 GB disk space, I won't advise it to anybody, even for like normal or general users. Over here actually I have a complaint for Apple, like they are selling such premium products, so it should start with at least 512 GB SSD. This is like one actual complaint directly to Apple. At this price point, they should be selling the minimum configuration at 512 GB. Now regarding the base model that comes with 8 GB RAM. Since I have 16 GB RAM, I have noticed my memory usage is always close to 8 GB, and if I have like multiple applications open like mail and multiple tabs in browser, along with that if I am editing a video in Final Cut Pro, my RAM usage even like goes up to 12 GB or sometimes even higher. But it is always under 16 GB. So if you are one of those users who are using such applications or have such like heavy memory requirement, and if you get the 8 GB version, you are definitely going to face slowdown problems, because Mac will then try to use your SSD for swap, which will result in slow performance, because SSD cannot give the same performance as RAM. RAM is much faster than SSD. So in this case, I won't advise you to even go for 24 GB RAM, because 24 GB might be an overkill. 16 GB is, I think, somewhere a sweet spot. So if you are into something pro and if you want a lightweight laptop that you can use on the move easily, then 16 GB RAM, you should at least go for 16 GB RAM. But if you're just into normal stuff like a student or business user, then 8 GB RAM is enough. But again, I will say go for at least 512 GB disk, Don't go for 256. As I told earlier, like the most of the disk will be actually taken up by the basic software in the OS itself. So make sure to actually enjoy the performance or enjoy this laptop. Go for 500 GB SSD. Please note, like later on you cannot upgrade it. So it's best to like customize it while you are ordering it. Now like regarding its battery life, it's actually great. Like if I'm doing like normal tasks like a little bit of editing and some other work on my day-to-day tasks, then it easily lasts for one whole day. I have some charge left, even so that I can use it the next day for a few hours. But I have noticed one thing: if I am editing videos, like some heavy videos on an external SSD, then in that case the battery drains actually quite quickly, and I have to look for a charger in a couple of hours. But at least even in that case, with heavy editing and an external disk which is also being powered by the same laptop, in that case it's understandable. It's giving power to that, and the CPU and GPU are also running at full throttle. So in that case, within a few hours I need to recharge it or look for a charging point. But in general, it lasts whole day easily. I had a chance to travel last year on a business trip. It was just a 2 days trip. So during that time, I never carried the charger with me, because the charging would easily last whole day. Like if I'm going to my client or visit a client, I did not carry the charger. I left the charger at my hotel itself, and I was just carrying it in a small sleeve, lightweight sleeve. So the overall weight and the portability, like it's great because due to the battery life actually. Now if you are into video calling or something like that, then this is the kind of performance or results you get. And the audio is also directly coming from the microphone of this MacBook Air. So this is the kind of result it gives. And because the webcam actually got a bump to 1080p. Now this is a 1080p camera, not the 720p that was that M1 Air had. So this is also a very good thing actually. The speakers are also good. You cannot compare it with an M1 Pro. Like see, that is a pro machine and this is not a pro machine. At least Apple is not saying that it's a pro machine, though it can give performance similar to a pro machine. But the speakers, like they are good, but not as good as the M1 Pro. Yeah, like if you have never heard M1 Pro and if you directly hear the music on this or the speakers output on this, then you are going to actually love it. The best part is speakers are not visible anywhere. They are hidden in the hinges. So as far as speaker is concerned, I will say they are quite good. Just don't compare it with Pro. You can compare it with any other Windows laptop, but don't compare it with Pro. Also the slim hinges make it like the display like really good. The best thing is like due to the small hinges, now even in the small factor you actually get a big screen, like it's a 13.6 inch screen. So that's something that Apple has actually implemented very nicely. They have reduced its size but increased the size of the screen. So this is and regarding Apple, not just forget about it. Actually it won't bother you after a couple of seconds of usage, because it just it just disappears, I can say that. I even like its form factor, like it's so slim and lightweight. You can easily carry it comfortably, like you won't even feel its weight. And the size is good enough to put it on even if you're traveling by air, on the tray from the seat that you get for eating, you can easily put it over there. And if you have a small coffee table or something, it's quite easy to even put it over there because it won't take up much space. But in spite of that, it is giving you a good screen because due to the hinges. And now with the new MagSafe charging point, it's actually a very good thing. You get two USB-C or Thunderbolt 3 ports. So due to which it's an upgrade from previous generation, because now you are getting two dedicated USB-C or Thunderbolt 3 ports for using with all your accessories. This is also one of the qualities or one of the advantage with M2 Macbook Air, which was not available with the M1 MacBook Air. And the keyboard is actually quite good. In fact, I'm even using a skin on it for so that dust and anything does not goes inside the keyboard. But the keyboard overall typing experience is really good, especially while traveling and everything. I've used it for hours continuously, never had any issues. Even all my scripts for YouTube, I type them directly on this M2 MacBook Air. In fact, even right now the bullet points are on my on my M2 MacBook Air screen. So this has become my main laptop, and the keyboard itself is very good, and even the trackpad is actually good. It's quite responsive, no issues. I am even using this external trackpad with my M1 Pro because I keep it docked. So I can say the performance is at par with the external trackpad. Also the aesthetics of this midnight color especially are actually very good. It looks really good, and the boxy look of this M2 Air also makes it like sort of masculine look, you can say, something like that, and it actually gets everyone's attention, especially this midnight color. But there is just one problem with it. It's a fingerprint magnet. As you must be already seeing on the screen, there must be like lot of fingerprints. See, wherever I put my hands, you must be noticing some fingerprints over there. So it's actually a very like major problem. I have to always carry microfiber cloth with me. So if you don't mind cleaning it at regular intervals, especially when going to a client's office or something, then definitely get this color. It's really good. Else, if you want to be safe, go for Starlight. Starlight is also an awesome color. And now regarding the problems, like as I told you, one is the fingerprint magnet problem with midnight color, and the other problem actually applies to all colors of M2 MacBook Air. Like one is the SD card. So I need to always carry an SD card reader, and for that, now since it does not have USB-A port, I need to even carry this hub. But I usually, when I'm traveling, I don't do video, I don't shoot videos or anything, so I don't need it. But like for those who are even shooting on the go, so you will be needing something like this to copy data from your camera or SD card. And another problem is limited USB-C port. It has just two USB-C ports. So if you want to connect like multiple accessories or a lot of accessories, then in that case that will be a problem. But if you really need both these things, then just go for M1 Pro. M1 Pro is a really good laptop even today. But if you want to go for the latest and the best thing, then this M2 Air, because of the form factor, the lightweight, portability, and the new color. So overall I can say this M2 MacBook Air, even though it's from the Air series, it is not less than the Pro series. It is giving like really good performance. I had zero issues. Even with video editing, like 4K multicam footages, it worked like a charm, like just like my M1 Pro. So no issues in that regard. But just make sure to get this RAM and disk upgrade. Then and only then it actually makes it a pro machine. So that's all for this video. I hope you like the video. If you have any doubts or comments, or you want to ask something, or if you want to suggest something, or if you want to correct me if I like said anything wrong, do let me know in comments. And make sure to please like this video, do subscribe to the channel, and do press the bell icon so that you get notified of my upcoming videos. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.